Hello and a warm welcome to Nationwide today on NTA. I'm Elizabeth Omori with the news. Issues relating to ecology and development dominated discussions as President Muhammadu Buhari granted audience to the governor of Kwara State, Abdulrahman Abdul Razak. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Over the weekend, we had huge rainstorm that destroyed about 5,000 houses in the state capital.
The Kwara State Governor, Abdulrahman Abdul Razak, told President Muhammadu Buhari that there was also huge flooding in Kwara North and the banks of River Niger, as a result of which nearly 15,000 people were displaced and thousands of hectares of farmlands submerged. Kwara State, he said, needs urgent federal government intervention.
We were expecting bumper harvest this season, especially with the federal government's intervention in the agricultural sector. But unfortunately, we are going to lose this harvest, and we hope we'll be able to gain ground. We also thank the federal government that they gave us a 10,000 hectare irrigation scheme to boost our dry season farming. That project is on course now. Already NEMA is on ground in Kwara taking data, so we believe the circle will be shorter this time. Before, what we used to have is after floodings, it takes up to 6 months before the aid comes in. But he has promised that things are being turned around at NEMA and they will react promptly.
He enumerated blankets, buckets, food, building materials, as well as agricultural inputs as things urgently needed to help the people recover.
We're talking about anywhere between 5 to 10 billion naira in losses.
He said the Kwara State government has started doing the little it can under the prevailing situation by distributing palliatives to those in need. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
To financial matters, in a move geared towards reflating the economy and promoting jobs, the Central Bank of Nigeria's Monetary Policy Committee voted Tuesday to reduce lending rates by 100 basis points. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, while reading the communique at the end of the rates meeting, affirmed the commitment of the committee to stabilize foreign exchange markets, stimulate productivity through access to credit, and improve the quality of the lives of citizens as the coronavirus pandemic continues to take toll.
Available funding at low interest rates. All we need is for businesses and those who plan to conduct businesses to get back to business. As government improves the level of easing of lockdown, we should get back to our businesses, talk to our deposit money banks, and we ourselves will also be talking to them. We are holding meetings with them regularly, for them to see to it that the Nigerian economy must get back on its feet and that we all need to work together to grow this economy.
Subsequently, the MPC voted to peg MPR at 11.5%, retain asymmetric corridor at plus 100 and minus 700 basis points around the MPR to ensure liquidity. It also retained liquidity ratio at 30% and cash reserve ratio at 27.5%. Now, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation is posting revenue directors to revenue-generating ministries, departments and agencies in pursuit of the strategic revenue growth initiative aimed at addressing current revenue shortfalls ahead of their deployment. The officers are being trained with a view to enhancing their skills for effective and efficient service delivery. Comfort Amodu reports.
remittance of operating surplus and bloated expenditure, among other leakages in government revenue-generating agencies, has been a source of concern for the government. Its effect on growth and development is more pronounced with coronavirus. The continued dwindling profile of the nation's revenue amid the shocks in global oil prices informed government's decision to redeploy directors from key revenue-generating agencies to federal government-owned enterprises to ensure strict adherence to extant rules and regulations of compliance with approved budgetary provisions and due process. To this end, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation is partnering with JK Consulting to build capacity of the Directors of Revenues for a seamless implementation.
How do we cut down the wastages that we know is prevalent in the revenue gathering together?
Government has noted that a number of the government-owned enterprises remit less operating surpluses to the Consolidated Revenue Fund than is required by law or by financial regulation.
All we need to do is really to think out of the box and to come up with implementation strategies that will provide positive impact in transforming our non-oil revenue sources of financing the budget.
We have seen the positive impact on the increase in VAT revenue through the instrumentality of the Finance Act 2019 and also the efforts that have been taken by various arms of government in diversifying the revenue base of government by the revenue-generating agencies.
Officials selected in this pilot phase are to be posted to the Nigerian Ports Authority, Nigerian Communication Commission, Nigerian National Petroleum Commission, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Federal Inland Revenue Service, the Nigerian Customs Service, Corporate Affairs Commission, Department of Petroleum Resources, the Nigerian Shippers Council, and the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. In Abuja, Comfort Amadou, NTA News.
INEC presents certificate of return to Governor Obaseki. Details as we join Obey in Benin. Hello, Obey.
Hello, Elizabeth. Many thanks for joining us in Benin. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has presented certificate of return to Governor Godwin Obaseki and his deputy Philip Shaibu of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, signifying their official recognition as governor and deputy governor-elect from the September 19 election. Agatha Igwaroju reports.
I hereby certify that Godwin Noge Hase Obaseki of People's Democratic Party has been elected to the office of Governor of Edo State.
INEC National Commissioner in charge of Edo, Delta, Bayelsa and Rivers States, May Agbamuche Mbu, presented the certificates of return to Governor Godwin Obaseki and his deputy Philip Shaibu. She urged the governor to see his victory as an opportunity to usher in a new beginning for the state.
We have always maintained that a successful conducted election is a collective effort, and for so it has proven to be.
This ceremony is just another fulfillment of the provisions of the law.
Governor Obaseki promised to use his second term in office to work more for the people. The governor commended the electoral umpire, the police and other security agencies for their efforts before, during and after the election.
Ability of INEC to view results as voting has, as the counting has taken place in the units is one innovation that we will implore INEC to insist on and improve, because that it has introduced a different element of transparency in the way we conduct elections in this country.
He called on aggrieved members to join hands with him to develop the state. In Benin, Agatha Egwariojo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Delta State government, through the Girl Child Empowerment Office, has commenced entrepreneurship training for 450 young girls in Delta State. Rosemary Omeni reports that Governor Ifeanyi Okowa and his wife, Dame Edith Okowa, were on hand to flag off the program in Asaba, the state capital.
Girls in the state have before now been trained in various entrepreneurship programs.
This latest one is unique as it is specially designed for the girl child only between 18 and 30 years of age. The young girls will be empowered on various skills such as fashion, hairdressing, makeup, and information communication technology, ICT, life building skills, business and entrepreneurial skills.
Girl empowerment is essentially the process of uplifting the economic and social status of traditionally underprivileged girls in the society. I think everybody agrees that underprivileged girls in a male-dominated social construct deserve special attention.
The Senior Special Assistant to the State Government on Girl Child, Marilyn Okowa-Daramola, said the program, Project Jest, which means Girls Entrepreneurship and Skills Training, is a workshop packaged to deliver desired results. At the end of the 3 days workshop, starter packs will be presented to the 450 beneficiaries in Asaba. I am Rosemary Omani, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Elizabeth in Abuja.
Thank you so much, Obey. Now to the judiciary. The President Court of Appeal Justice Monica Dongbam Mensem has established the Election Petitions Tribunal Secretariat and accordingly constituted a panel in respect of the governorship election conducted in Edo State. The Chief Judge of Edo State, Justice Edingi, has equally approved the use of Edo High Court Complex Election Petition Court Hall, Sapele Road, for the tribunal sitting. A statement by the Court Secretary, Sunday Martins, says the Secretariat is now open while all inquiries are to be directed to the Secretary. Still on the judiciary, the Supreme Court has fixed the 27th of November for ruling on an application asking it to set aside its 2019 judgment ordering Shell Nigeria Development Company to pay damages to some oil-producing communities in Bayelsa State. This came after arguments were taken on a preliminary object to the application. Femi Okewo tells us more.
7th of January 2019, the Supreme Court delivered a judgment in a matter against the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria, ordering the company to pay damages running into hundreds of millions of naira to various oil-producing communities in Bayelsa State. And just as the judgment creditors began to take steps to take benefit of the judgment, Shell, through their counsel Wole Olanipekun, are now back before the Supreme Court to ask the nation's apex court to set aside its judgment. Before taking that application, the communities, through their counsel, Lucius Nwosu, filed a preliminary objection to the application for the setting aside of the judgment, telling the court that the application constitutes a scandalous deliberate abuse and ridicule of the integrity and finality of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. But Chief Wole Olanipekun said that the preliminary objection had nothing in it to show that the Supreme Court had no jurisdiction to entertain his application. The Supreme Court will now, on the 27th of November, decide if the preliminary objection has merit or whether to go ahead and take the application, urging it to set aside its January 2019 judgment. In Abuja, Femi Okewo, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with former governor of Imo State, Owele Rochas Anayo Okorocha, on his 58th birthday, joining friends and family to celebrate the consummate entrepreneur and philanthropist whose kindness cuts across the nation. A statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Media and Publicity says President Buhari shares the moment of joy with political associates of Owele Rochas, Senator representing Imo West Senatorial District in the 9th Assembly. The President believes Senator Okorocha's large heart and detribalized outlook on the country will continue to stand him out. As the Senate turns 58, President Buhari prays Almighty God to grant him longer life and good health to keep serving the country and humanity. You watch Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Let's take our first break. More reports ahead. Stay with us.
A new edition of TV Guide is out, featuring great personalities from all walks of life. expository interview with a young TV presenter who shows passion on what she does, Morayo Afolabi Brown of TVC. Pick a copy of this compendium of mind-blowing stories and get abreast with issues as regards media convergence, leadership, health, star profiles, star programs, fashion, sports, human angle stories, and lots more. Meet some media professionals within our space who have paid their dues in no small ways. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative, and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
NTA News 24, a 24-hour news station, brings to you news and happenings 7 days a week.
News at 10 a.m., news update at 11 and 1 p.m.
News desk at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and late evening news at 11 p.m.
Follow us on any of our platforms and keep abreast of events and current affairs within and outside our shows.
We are on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46,
StarTimes channel 101, and Free TV channel 703. Join us.
NTA TV College Jos, an affiliate of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, is currently admitting students for its ordinary diploma programs in television journalism, television production, and television engineering. Interested candidates are advised to obtain relevant information concerning eligibility at our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng or marketing department of any NTA station nationwide. For further information, contact Assistant Director, Marketing, NTA TV College Jos on 0803-314-4383 or the Academic Office of the College on 0806-980-9807. Announcer, Registrar.
Glad to know you're still there. To education, as guides for future leaders, teachers must brace up to impact leadership qualities in emergency situations, as well as to rekindle the interest of young people to the teaching profession. This was a submission of the Minister of State Education, Chukwuemeka Nwajuba, at a media briefing on the forthcoming World Teachers' Day 2020. The minister underscored the role of teachers, especially as it goes with the theme for this year's commemoration, Teachers Leading in Crisis, Reemerging the Future. The minister maintained that the ministry, on its part, will not shy away from its responsibilities of motivating the teachers, hence the introduction of President's Teachers in School Excellence Award.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Education, instituted the President's Teachers and Schools Excellence Award. Our 5 award categories, namely Best Public School, Best Approved Private School, Best Public School Teacher, Best Approved Private School Teacher, and Best Public School Administrator.
The National Union of Teachers attended the briefing.
The impact of COVID-19 pandemic on education have further required teachers to lead and to confront the new normal with greater capacity for innovation and creativity.
The annual event declared by UNESCO is to highlight the contributions and challenges of teachers in the teaching profession globally. The Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs has commenced fiscal monitoring and evaluation of projects approved by the Federal Executive Council in 2017 and 2018. Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Senator George Akume, in a statement made available to the media, says the objective of the exercise is to ensure that all Federal Executive Council decisions are implemented strictly in accordance with the intentions of the Council and obtaining value for money for the benefit of Nigerians. The physical monitoring exercise commenced with the first monitoring team covering the Northeast, South-South and Southeast geopolitical zones between 14th to 18th of September 2020, while the second team will cover North Central, Northeast and Southwest geopolitical zones from 21st to 25th of September 2020. The project monitoring exercise being coordinated by the Department of Policy Implementation and Monitoring of Government Decisions in the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs were also cut across 8 ministries, departments and agencies. Now, following President Buhari's directive that all abandoned projects should be completed, some adjoining federal roads leading to Calabar-Itu Highway are now receiving attention. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Ita Enang, stated this after inspecting progress of work on the 22 kilometers road projects awarded since 2013. John Paul Alomona reports.
The 22-kilometer Idete-Bibiono Road, which connects Calabar to Superhighway, is an ecological project awarded in 2013 but was halted in 2018 due to evaluation and technical issues. The project is funded by the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, and the Presidency to enable local farmers have access to their farms to enhance food sufficiency. The contractor handling the project and some community leaders promised to cooperate to see the completion of the work.
This road, there had been a lot of talks, there are a lot of accusations and counter accusations. But the mere fact that the same person they said was not going to be able to do this job has come back to take over this job again is the best thing that has happened to the community.
The NDD should go ahead and do the road according to specification. All what we need quality job. And I know NDC is going to deliver. There will be no problem. Let the road be done. And we are going to wait for compensation whenever they are going to pay.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Ita Enang, disclosed that the continuation of work became necessary following the instruction of President Buhari to contractors to complete all abandoned projects in the country. He commended the President and assured the people of the area that the work will soon be completed.
Let me appreciate what you're doing. I want to assure you that the federal government will cooperate with you in making sure that whatever is your due that is outstanding, if any, will. But we'll do everything to make sure that this phase of the work will be the concluding part of the work and you will exit this project to another site.
Inuyo, John Paul Alumon, NTA News.
For more reports on Nationwide, let's join Adeola in Lagos. Hello, Adeola.
Elizabeth, good to see you. The repair works on the Third Mainland Bridge has entered its 9th week as the contractors are preparing for the replacement of bearings under the bridge. Dotun Oguyemi has the report.
It is the 9th week since the closure of the Third Mainland Bridge as work progresses on the surface of the bridge with the replacement of expansion joints. The first phase of replacing identified joints on the Lagos Island to Oworonshoki bound lane has reached advanced stages, allowing the contractor to shift attention to repairs under the bridge with the replacement of damaged bearings. This is to be done with hydraulic jacks to hold the bridge for the bearings to be replaced.
We have to install 2 jacks every column on top of it, and then raise up the deck of the bridge of about ½ centimeter. These things will allow us to remove the old bearings that is damaged and put the new one.
They will remove the old one and put the new bearings. They are all on ground. So we are not slacking. We will make sure that there is no extension of time. That 6 months that we carry out the partial closure will not be extended beyond.
The Federal Controller of Work says the project is well on course for its timely delivery. In Lagos, Dotun Oguyemi, NTA News.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has reiterated his administration's commitment to good governance and selfless service to Lagos residents in line with the developmental agenda of his administration. The governor gave the assurance while declaring open a 2-day retreat for state executives and heads of agencies and parastatals. Nosa Osula reports.
The retreat is to reassess the performance of the state government in the last 1 year and chart a new course of progress for the state. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who expressed optimism that the two-day interactive retreat will serve as a platform for constructive criticism and the yardstick for performance evaluation, pledged his administration's commitment towards improving the standard of living of residents through the completion of ongoing projects and implementation of new ones.
For the support we received from the federal government, I'm sure you all know that the support at that time was the biggest support that it would have been to anyone, and the support helped us to very quickly stabilize our expenses, and be able to do a whole lot of the intervention that we did in the last 6-7 months.
The state deputy governor Obafemi Hamzat, in his remarks, said that he is hopeful that at the end of the retreat, members of the EXCO and all key stakeholders in the current administration would have been energized for better service delivery. The state head of service, Hakeem Murio Kuola, had listed steps taken by some of the departments and agencies to mitigate the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic and ensure smooth delivery of service. In Lagos, Nusa Usula, NTA News.
We're done from here. Elizabeth, is back to you.
Thank you, Adeola. Now to road safety. The Federal Road Safety Corps is aligning its operations within the resolution of the 74th session of United Nations General Assembly aimed at achieving 50% reduction in road carnage from 2021 to 2030. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports that the commitment is part of the Corps' top management review session for last quarter of the year 2020.
Impact of auto crashes on Nigerian road is constituting huge threat to road users, including property worth millions of naira, owing to a number of devastating factors such as deplorable roads, insecurity and violation of traffic rules. This narrative is what the hierarchy of the Corps is changing, with priority to effective security network, passengers' safety, and achieving 2030 global road safety target.
We'll embark on aggressive public enlightenment, aggressive enforcement, and we'll collaborate with stakeholders. It provides a platform for us to do a review of what we've done, to see where we need to rejig our processes.
Corps Marshal Boboyo Yemi says the Corps is determined to strengthen all processes and programs as captured in Goal 4 of the Corps Corporate Strategic Goals 2020 and beyond.
The Corps is already positioning itself as a lead agency in road safety management to infuse the principles of the second decade of action for road safety 2021 to 2013 to the nation's approaches in road safety management.
The Corps Marshal appealed to Nigerians to avoid unnecessary travels while appreciating the efforts of President Muhammadu Buhari, security agencies and government of Nasarawa State in ensuring the release of adopted FRSC personnel in Abuja. Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
Into other matters, as federal government set to roll out auto gas policy, guests on Good Morning Nigeria highlighted the enormous advantages of the initiatives on the nation's socio-economic development. Leader Sampson reports that the auto gas policy is expected to be launched in the fourth quarter of 2020.
Auto gas to fuel cars and generators is already being widely embraced in other developed climes. Nigeria, so far, is operating pilot schemes in Edo and Rivers State. As part of efforts to reduce hardship of Nigerians arising from the hike in petrol price and to deepen utilization of gas, the federal government is rolling out alternatives to petrol known as auto gas. Technical advisor on gas business and policy implementation to the Minister of State Petroleum Resources said the nation has capacity to implement the policy. To this end, more than 1 million conversion kits are available for the auto gas.
Some pundits, or if you like, critics will say, but gas is still fossil fuel. The truth of the matter is a cleaner fuel that is a closest ally to renewables. And again, what this does is that it helps improve the pollution that comes from using petrol or diesel.
To facilitate the smooth implementation of the policy, NNPC stations are empowered to have necessary facilities to dispense gas to vehicles. Other guests on the program emphasized the need to have several conversion centers in the country, as it will take about 7 hours to convert a vehicle to a dual-fuel automobile.
The LPG tanks fabricated here in Nigeria is as good as any you get outside the country. They are mostly of ASME standard.
Technology is being implemented by other Western communities in Europe, in America. So it's not something that is new to the, it's not something that is entirely new. So we are aware that this kind of thing has been in existence, and we have studied it and see that it's something that Nigeria actually needs.
The guest stressed the need for training of relevant personnel for the smooth implementation of the auto gas policy. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Minister of Mines and Steel Development to support Cross River agro-industrialization. Details with Debabari in our Port Harcourt studio. Nice to see you, Debabari.
Elizabeth, Rivers State Government has enjoined the Naval High Command to implement recommendations of Clause 4 participants who are on study tour to the state towards nipping vandalism and economic sabotage of the nation's critical assets. Ogediek reports that Governor Wike was speaking when he played host to participants of the Naval Warfare Clause 4 from the Naval War College at Government House, Port Harcourt.
Pipeline vandalism, oil theft, are among the issues of concern to government at all levels in the country. Hence, the participants of the Naval Warfare Course 4 on study tour to the state will be looking at curbing pipeline vandalism towards enhancing socio-economic development in the state. The participants will be interacting with the state government and other security agencies to brainstorm on possible ways of curbing the menace.
At this time, in choosing to carry out this study, we recognize that in the past few years, the Rivers State government, with the Nigerian Navy and other security agencies operating in Rivers State, have been doing so much to curtail that menace.
Governor Wike wants government at all levels and security agencies to work in synergy towards eliminating pipeline vandalism and other vices that sabotage the economic development of the country.
Government should be able to implement the reports that you submit based on your field operation, based on your experience, based on the reports you've gotten.
He tasked the Navy and other security agencies to redouble their efforts in ensuring that pipeline vandalism will be eliminated. The governor also gave assurance that his administration will continue to partner with security agencies to fight crime. In Port Harcourt, Oge Dinyekwere, NTA News.
Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Dr. Uche Chukwuoga, has called the Cross River State government high on the execution of its agro-industrialization policy. The minister gave the commendation after inspecting some of the projects in Calabar. Paul Abel reports.
The minister with the governor took time around the Cross River Instant Noodles Factory and the chicken processing factory, also known as Kalachika. The minister describes the feat by the government as one with a deep vision despite the low income base of the state.
When you do things like this, you create jobs, create opportunities. You know, he's a man that has come, he has seen the future and then is building for the future. So for us, anything that needs to be done, and that is why you can see I'm here to collaborate with him.
Cross River State is in a point where we want to actually privatize or concession some of our industries. Since you're already in the noodle business, come see what we've got and see whether you can put your skin in the game. To create opportunity for young Cross Riverians to have jobs so that hunger can come down and people can become human again so that prosperity can set in.
Cross River State indigents and residents hope that the state government will fast-track its concession or privatization of the industries so that the facilities can start production. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
And that does it from Port Harcourt. Is back to Elizabeth for the rest of the news. Good evening.
Thank you, Deba. A non-governmental non-governmental organization Value Chain Development Program is partnering farmers to promote agricultural development in Nasarawa State. Abigail Bashi reports that the market and enterprise development advisor Fatima Mukhtar Buhari and other stakeholders met value chain participants to drive the initiative.
Nasarawa State is famous for the cultivation of rice and cassava in large quantity. This informed the choice of Nasarawa among 9 other states to benefit from the program. The project, which started in July this year, is to assist registered farmers in dry season farming as well as processing and marketing. Farmers like Aklo Emmanuel and Loreto Dahiru are hopeful that the program will go a long way to assist them address some challenges of road network and modern facilities. The Market and Enterprise Development Advisor Fatima Mukhtar Buhari explains the target of the program.
The program mostly is to support rural people, rural farmers, and it's always based on farming 2 crops, that is cassava and rice mostly. And we go around looking for clusters around the local government areas of the states that we have. Most of the local government areas have we're supporting local government areas of each state. And the past all states, we've added 3 more states, local government areas, to the states.
Stakeholders call for the sustenance of the program in view of its contributions to food sufficiency. In Lafia, Abigail Bashi, NTA News.
Now, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control has announced 195 new cases of COVID-19 in 11 states. The latest figures show that Enugu has the highest number with 51 cases, Gombe 40, Lagos 39, Plateau 23, FCT 15, while Rivers State has 12 new confirmed cases. Other states are Kaduna 8, Ondo 3, Bauchi 2, Edo and Ogun States 1 each. So far, Nigeria has 57,439 confirmed cases, out of which 49,674 were successfully treated and discharged, while 1,100 died of the virus. To other health matters, beyond declaring Nigeria a polio-free country by the World Health Organization, health workers have been reminded that a victory can be sustained by strengthening all routine immunization services. Emmanuel Ayimiro reports that the Minister of Health, Dr. Osagie Ihanire, gave this advice while reiterating government's determination to eradicate other diseases in the country at a polio-free eradication celebration in Abuja.
After the milestone achievement, a new task was placed before the health sector by the World Health Organization, which required all children under 5 years to be vaccinated against preventable diseases. Meeting this task is another challenge that the Minister of Health, Dr. Osagie Ihanire, says is possible if resources are dedicated especially to high-risk areas.
We are working on strengthening the primary health care, on restructuring it, and for that we need to work very closely, very closely with the states, with the local governments, with the communities, and with the public media.
We will not rest on our laurels to ensure that necessary capacity is built.
The National Primary Healthcare Development Agency is already working towards declaring call for the establishment of at least one functional primary healthcare center in every ward in Nigeria.
So we're glad that because of these resources provided by President Muhammadu Buhari, we'll be able to deliver quality primary health care for all Nigerians. So we're excited about what the future holds for us.
The ministry should dispense with the current posture of apartheid and embrace everybody, treat everybody properly, and reduce crisis, outbreak, strikes, so that we can sustain this.
To encourage more dedication to the fight against preventable diseases, awards were given to deserving individuals. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
The message of paying proper attention to children as well as adequate care for their hygiene and development was what the Federal Minister of Women Affairs took to indigent women of Ushafa and Buhari Area Council of the FCT. The Minister, Pauline Tarlin, also flagged off distribution of diapers to women in the 6 area councils of the FCT. The burden of childbearing can be compared to none, and when the child finally arrives, child upbringing becomes another hurdle to cross, as most women find it almost difficult to cater for the basic needs of their children. Diaper is one of such needs. You will agree with me. It is against this backdrop that the Federal Minister of Women Affairs took baby care items such as diapers to indigent women of Ushafa in Buhari Area Council of the FCT. The Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Tarlin, reminded the women of the need and importance of giving adequate care and attention to their children in order to ensure their healthy and developmental growth.
Child health is all-embracing as it includes every area of a child's life and has a profound impact on the future development of our children. I wish to call on mothers to note that childhood is a period between birth and adulthood, which means more care should be given to a child as it represents a phase of life with great potentials for them to grow and develop.
The distribution is to cut across the 6 area councils of the Federal Capital Territory. Time to head to Jos, where Felicia is standing by with some reports for us. Nice to see you, Felicia.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Welcome to Jos. To close up the gender gap in Nigeria, key players in gender rights have called for the implementation of the Gender and Equal Opportunities Bill and the Violence Against Persons Prohibition (VAP) bill. They made this case at a strategic meeting to define critical pathway for the effective implementation of the Gender and Equal Opportunities (GEO) law in Plateau State. Ekemeren Kanengladoja reports that the meeting was organized by the Women's Rights Advancement and Protection Alternative, RAPA, in Jos.
Statistics reveals that the global gender indices of 2019 indicate Nigeria is placed 133 out of 149 countries in view of 4 major indicators of educational attainment, economic empowerment, health, and survival. The Gender and Equal Opportunities Law and the Violence Against Persons Prohibition (VAP) Act are meant to address some of these gaps once implemented, which is the reason for the meeting.
With the Commission on ground, it will expedite further actions to ensure that the law is actually implemented in Plateau.
So only calling on stakeholders, like the traditional rulers, the youths, the women organizations to support its establishment.
For Plateau State, the GEO bill was passed into law by the 7th State House of Assembly with a nod of approval from the 9th Assembly.
The 9th Assembly is also giving her support towards implementation of this commission, the GEO.
And will do everything possible to facilitate its reality.
Inclusion of gender studies into the Nigerian education curricula, capacity building for key players, as well as educating women on the laws that affect them with suggestions from participants.
But it requires that we know whom to do or say what to at what time.
Top entrance objectives always require sensitization.
The Gender and Equal Opportunities Law has been passed in only Ekiti and Plateau states, out of the 36 states in Nigeria. In Jos, Ekemeren Kanengladoja, NTA News.
Now, after 3 decades without a source of potable water, the people of Lantang North and South are now counting their blessings as they can easily access this all-important commodity. The project took the Plateau State Water Board 4.5 million naira to resuscitate the damaged water treatment plant in the areas. Zanred Dimun reports.
The Langtang Water Treatment Plant, which was inaugurated in 1983, stopped working along the way due to aging of equipment at the plant, leading to the long years of non-access to potable water by communities in Langtang. After years of failed attempts to rehabilitate the plant, The project site was returned to the Plateau State government on request of Governor Simon Lalong, which saw the Plateau State Water Board engineers able to complete the first stage of work, which is the resuscitation of the plant.
We need to make water available to the people. One is safeguards against ill health. Secondly, it increases productivity.
The second phase is coming to take care of the main lines, to see the broken pipes and then resuscitate them again.
The joy of the people is beyond bounds, as some prominent sons of the land express how this feat will impact on the communities.
Today, the government has answered our prayer. Water will start running from various pumps that we have in the town.
Ours in Langtang North is a joyous moment.
The local government, I want to say we appreciate all those that put their hands in this gigantic project.
The inspection crew moved on to Pangshin to inspect the water treatment plant. Zenra Dingmoon, NTA News.
Elizabeth, Jos is done. It's back to you in Abuja for what's left of the news.
Thank you so much, Felicia. Disunity amongst Nigerians is never a solution to any problem. Therefore, there's no justification for Nigerians to be divided. Those were the words of Reverend Yakubu Pam, the Executive Secretary, Nigerian Christian Pilgrim Commission, during a working visit to Bauchi State. Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed reports.
A unity of both religion and ethnicity is taking place here during your visit.
The visit by the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission coincided with the International Peace Day celebration. Having announced December for the commencement of airlift of Christian pilgrims to Israel, Reverend Yakubu Pam noted that the Commission has selected the Northeast Zone for the flag-off of the airlift.
Israel is known as #1 in the whole world, who is professionally in farming to contribute in the economic of your states, farming to engage your youth, farming to make Bauchi to be the food basket of the country. We will be happy to partner with you on this venture.
On his part, Governor Bala Mohammed, who commended Reverend Yakubu Pam for his role in promoting peaceful coexistence among Nigerians, promised to key into the Commission's Youth Pilgrims Initiative.
The program and project that we are doing, and I think it has gone in tandem with what we are going to do. Definitely we'll ask our Minister of Agriculture to discuss with you so that your own pilgrimage, which is tailored towards enhancing agriculture, will leverage on it.
The Christian Youth Pilgrimage is an initiative that will avail Nigerian youths with the opportunity to learn modern techniques of farming from the State of Israel. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Ibn Mohammed, NTA News.
Extremism, injustice, and other crimes threatening peace and unity of a nation can be tackled when religious fanaticism is expunged. This was the view of religious leaders at an interfaith forum where they called for government's intervention to improve relations across communities through dialogue and mediation. And extremism, philosophers say, threatens the unity and development of any nation. Finding a lasting solution to this is the essence of this interfaith dialogue by the Cardinal Onayeka Foundation for Peace, one of the platforms in Nigeria, building capacities and exploring better ways of networking for peace.
More attention needs to be paid and support given to alternative, non-violent efforts in which religious actors are particularly effective. In terms of human and financial costs, it is far less expensive and possibly more effective than guns and bombs.
Banditry, corruption, and religious fanaticism were part of the issues raised.
The advancing of peace efforts through this process will build the capacities of grassroots leaders as critical actors and peacemakers in building and enhancing social cohesion.
Governments must do something in supporting inter-religious dialogue and mediation.
Civil society groups, the religious leaders say should remain proactive in examining peace building through dialogue and reconciliation for sustainable development. They are of the opinion that local actors and faith-based communities are in the best position to tackle issues of violent extremism because of the influence of religion to transform positively in Abuja. Let's take our last break on Nationwide. We'll be right back.
Yes, that's the painful effect of what corruption costs you. But what does corruption cost us all? Watch Bad Guys on NTA Network, 6 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. every Wednesday from the Akin Fadeyi Foundation. Bad Guys. Who are the bad guys? Join us.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Thanks for staying. Next is Sports Update with Tamara Ibiwi.
The federal government has promised to use every means within its power to support Nigerian candidates seeking a position on the board of United World Wrestling, UWW, in Belgrade this December. Minister Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dare, who stated this when he met President Nigeria Wrestling Federation Daniel Igali in Abuja, said as the most populous black nation in the world, Nigeria has what it takes to lead in all fronts.
More importantly, the fact that wrestling is one of our key sports where we have competitive advantage. We think that having you in that place will be good for us.
What we're trying to do is to get into the Bureau so that we can also have the necessary support for African wrestling and for Nigeria particularly.
Meanwhile, newly inducted patron of Authentic Nigeria Football Supporters Club, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, says Kaduna State is set to compete with any other state in sporting championships. Nasir El-Rufai, who is also the governor of Kaduna State, said the present administration is keen to promote football as a vehicle of unity and peace among the youths. In another development, Super Eagles head coach Gernot Rohr has been commended for inviting 6 new players to camp for the international friendlies with Tunisia and Cote d'Ivoire. The introduction, Nigerians say, has opened new ground for the players to showcase themselves.
Mati Yakubu, not so much about him, but well, we'll see what he can do.
25 players were invited to the Super Eagles camp built for October this year. Tamara Ebiwe, NTA News.
Away from sports, the remains of the slain commander of 25 Task Force Brigade, Dambao Colonel Dahiru Shiroma Bako, has been laid to rest with full military honors and commitment by the Borno State government to support the family of the deceased. The funeral prayer was attended by Borno State Governor and the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, Mohammed Goni reports.
The funeral prayer for repose of the deceased soul was led by the Chief Imam, Colonel Usman Musa, attended by Governor Babagana Umara, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, Chairman Senate Committee on Army, Mohammed Alindumi, as well as officers and men of the Nigerian military. The fallen hero was then buried according to Islamic rites with full military honor, including 21-gun salute and funeral oration, as read out by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, paying tribute to the gallant officer, whom he said has played a critical role in the ongoing counter-insurgency operations. The Chief of Army Staff then presented a plaque to the next of kin of the deceased, in line with the military tradition. Governor Wagana Umara described the death of Colonel Chiroma Bako as a loss not only to the Nigerian Army and Borno State, but the whole country, saying the officer was dogged, committed and gallant in discharging his duties, and the father noted his role in decimating Boko Haram in Borno and Yobe states.
Under his command, Domba was never defeated. He remained resolute. More so, was also one of the greatest actors stabilizing Borno State during this very important insurgency. We shall remember him forever for the contributions that he has done to give people of Borno and Yobe State and to the nation in general.
The governor then announced Borno State government's support of a befitting accommodation and 20 million naira to the family of the deceased. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
A presidential delegation led by Minister of Education Adama Adamas condoled with the government and people of Borno State over the demise of first-class emirs of Bama and Biu, Ministers of State for Agriculture and that of Works, as well as the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity Garba Shehu among the presidential delegation to Borno. Maimuna Garba reports.
The presidential delegation who came to Maiduguri at the instance of President Muhammadu Buhari had, while condoling Governor Babagana Umara Zulum over the deaths of emirs of Biu and Bama, described their loss as a painful double tragedy. Leader of the presidential delegation, who is also the Minister of Education, Adamu, while presenting the president's condolence message, acknowledged and appreciated the late emir's contributions towards peaceful coexistence amongst their people.
The exemplary leadership in the face of adversity is worthy of emulating by their successes. As we all mourn the death of these emirs, I pray Almighty Allah to accept their ibadah, forgive and admit them into Al-Jannah.
The minister also commended Governor Babagana Umara Zulum for his commitment, courage and devotion in trying to end the insurgency in the state, stressing that the governor's effort has given hope to the people of Borno and Nigerians at large. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum thanked the president for the condolences.
Your coming here today shows a very important mark to us in the history of Borno State, especially the president himself. In addition to the telephone conversation that he had with us, he sent a powerful delegation to condole us. May Almighty Allah in His infinite wisdom reward him abundantly.
Governor Babagana Umara Zulum had used the opportunity to condole the Minister of Education over the death of his mother and the Minister of State for Works on the death of his sister. The President's condolence letter for the Shehu of Borno was also presented to the Governor. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
And that ends Nationwide today. Thank you so much for watching. Good evening.
This is NTA International.